Good morning. I would like to ask the clerk to open the roll.
You have a quorum, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Today, I will ask staff to summarize the bills before us. All of these bills are either identical or similar to Senate bills. Let's start with identical House bills first.
Madam Chair, the first bill is House Bill 840, Delegate Austin's bill. It relates to license plates for the 250th anniversary of the American Revolution. It is identical to Senate Bill 216, Senator Locke's bill, which passed the Senate 38 yes, 0 no.
Move to report, Madam Chair.
Second. It's been moved and seconded that the bill be reported. Please open the roll.
Ayes 14, no 0.
Ayes 14, no 0. The bill is reported. Staff, April.
The next bill is House Bill 356, Delegate Fowler, relating to the investment of public funds. Qualified public entities allowed to invest in asset-backed securities. It's identical to Senate Bill 510, Senator Stanley, which passed the Senate 40 yes, 0 no.
Madam Chair, I move to report.
It's been moved and seconded that the bill be reported. All in favor? Open the roll.
Ayes 14, no 0.
Ayes 14, no 0. The bill is reported.
Madam Chair, House Bill 1130, Delegate Hayes' bill, relates to unconscious bias and cultural competency training for the board under the Board of Medicine. It is identical to Senate Bill 35, Senator Locke's bill, which passed the Senate 36 yes, 4 no.
Madam Chair, I move to report.
Second. It's been moved and seconded that the bill be reported. Madam Clerk, open the roll.
Ayes 14, no 0.
Ayes 14, no 0. The bill is reported.
Madam Chair, the next bill, House Bill 935, LeVar Bowling's bill, relates to coverage for dual services under health insurance, but it sends first to the Health Insurance Reform Commission and has a reenactment clause. However, I do believe there needs to be a technical amendment, and if it pleases Madam Chair, I'd have the attorney to read that.
Could I get him? I'll let him read it first.
Madam Chair, the bill provides that the provisions of the body of the bill shall apply to any policy, contract, or plan delivered on and after January 1, 2025, but it also includes a reenactment clause. So we will be changing that portion of the bill to say it shall apply to any policy or contract on or after January 1, 2026, so there's no conflict there.
Madam Chair, I move the technical amendment.
Second. It has been moved and seconded that the technical amendment be agreed to. All in favor of that motion, please say aye.
Aye. I move to report.
Second. It's been moved and seconded that the bill be reported as amended. Madam Clerk, please open the roll.
Ayes 14, no 0.
Ayes 14, no 0. The bill is reported with the amendment.
Madam Chair, the next bill, House Bill 944, relates to the Forest Sustainability Fund and how those funds are allocated between localities who may receive a grant. It is identical to Senate Bill 129, Senator Ruff's bill, which passed the Senate 40 yes, 0 no, and the Senate budget included $5 million for this purpose.
Madam Chair, I move the bill. Report.
It's been moved and seconded that the bill be reported. Madam Clerk, please open the roll.
Ayes 14, no 0.
Ayes 14, no 0. The bill is reported.
The next bill is House Bill 991, Delegate Maldonado, relating to the use of cloud technology for the placement of gaming equipment in the Commonwealth. It's identical to Senate Bill 540, the Senator Bagby, which passed the Senate 40 yes, 0 no.
Madam Chair, I move to report.
It's been moved and seconded that the bill be reported. All in favor of that motion, please vote electronically.
Ayes 14, no 0.
Ayes 14, no 0. The bill will be reported.
The next bill is House Bill 468, McNamara, which relates to the Financial Services Expansion Grant Fund. This is a MEI-approved project. This is identical to Senate Bill 156, Senator Head, which passed the Senate 40 yes, 0 no.
Madam Chair, I move to report.
It's been moved and seconded that the bill will be reported. All in favor, Madam Clerk, open the roll.
Ayes 14, no 0.
Ayes 14, no 0. The bill is reported.
Madam Chair, the next bill, House Bill 819, Munden King's bill. This has to do with coverage for prescription contraceptive drugs and devices under health insurance. It's identical to Senate Bill 238, Senator Hashmi's bill, which passed the Senate 24 yes, 15 no.
Madam Chair, move the report.
It's been moved and seconded that the bill be reported. Please open the roll.
Ayes 14, no zero.
Ayes 14, no zero, the bill is reported.
The next bill, Madam Chair, is House Bill 1085, Delegate Rasool's bill. This relates to the per and polyfluorinated substances maximum contaminant levels. It's identical to Senate Bill 243, Senator McPike's bill, which passed the Senate 39 yes, 0 no.
Madam Chair, move the report.
There's a motion and a second that the bill be reported. Please vote electronically.
Ayes 14, no zero.
Ayes 14, no zero, the bill is reported.
Madam Chair, I don't want to slow down the train, but having voted on the prevailing side by which we passed House Bill 819, I move that we reconsider that vote.
There's a motion for reconsideration. Please open the roll.
Ayes 14, no zero.
Ayes 14, no zero on the reconsideration, Senator Creed.
I
Senator
move
Dees.
that the bill be reported.
It's moved and second that the bill be reported. Open the roll, please.
Ayes 11, noes 3.
Ayes 11, noes 3. The bill is reported.
Madam Chair.
The next bill is House Bill 462, Delegate Runyon. This relates to schools that are eligible for the grants from the School Construction Fund. It's identical to Senate Bill 474, Senator Obenshain, which passed the Senate 40 yes, 0 no.
Madam Chair, move the report.
There's a motion and a second that the bill be reported. Please open the electronic roll.
Ayes 14, no zero.
Ayes 14, no zero, the bill is reported.
Madam Chair, the next bill is House Bill 225, Delegate Sickles' bill. This relates to dentist and dental hygienist compacts. It's identical to Senate Bill 22, Senator Locke's bill, which passed the Senate 40 yes, 0 no.
Madam Chair, move the report.
There's a motion and a second that the bill be reported. Please open the electronic roll.
Ayes 14, no zero.
Ayes 14, no zero, the bill is reported.
Madam Chair, the next bill, House Bill 1, Delegate Ward's bill. This relates to increasing the minimum wage, $13.50 per hour, and then beyond. There are, in your notes, the rest of the provisions. It is identical to Senate Bill 1, Madam Chair's bill, which passed the Senate 39 yes, 0 no.
Move to report.
I apologize, that vote count is, the notes are wrong on that vote count. So give us 1 second, I'll tell you what the vote. 2119, Madam Chair.
I was going to take the first, the first report.
I move to report the bill.
Second.
There's a motion and a second that the bill be reported. Please vote electronically.
Ayes 10, noes 4.
Ayes 10, noes 4, the bill is reported.
Madam Chair, the next bill is House Bill 1015, Delegate Wilt, relates to agriculture best management practices and agricultural equipment purchase tax credits. It's identical to Senate Bill 297 and Senate Bill 298, Senator French, which both passed the Senate 40 yes, 0 no.
Madam Chair, move the report.
There's a motion and a second that the bill be reported. All in favor, please vote electronically.
Ayes 14, no zero.
Ayes 14, no zero, the bill is reported.
Madam Chair, we next move to House bills that are similar to Senate bills, and the first is Delegate Austin's bill related to House Bill 237. Delegate Austin was here and knows what your recommendation was. His bill is more narrow than Senate Bill 496, Senator Carafoy's bill, which passed the Senate 40 yes, 0 no. What the recommendation of the Madam Chair is to have a committee sub that would amend the limit match requirement to July 1, 2028, which was in the Senate bill.
I move that amendment.
There's a motion and a second on the amendment. All in favor, please say aye.
And then I move to report.
It has been moved and seconded that the bill be reported as amended. All in favor or not, please vote electronically.
Ayes 14, no 0.
Ayes 14, no 0. The bill is reported with the substitute.
The next bill is House Bill 510. This relates to surplus line brokers. It exempts any licensed surplus line broker from the insurance premium license tax for any insurance policy procured on behalf of a commuter rail, which only applies to VRE. It's similar to Senate Bill 670, Pekarsky, which was continued in the committee 14 yes, 1 no, and the committee's budget amendments include a study by the Department of Treasury on these insurance policies and a broader look at the exemption.
I see the patron of the bill in the audience. Would you like to speak to it?
Yes, Chair, I sure would. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. What I'm asking for, I think the study is wonderful. I think we absolutely need to do it. But I am asking for this bill to continue with a sunset provision for the year while the study is being done so that we're not penalizing VRE. So asking to seek that relief for this year and at your mercy about how that works. But very in favor of the study, but hoping that in that year that we're doing the study that we don't penalize VRE.
So I take it to understand that you are okay with the bill being carried over?
I would love not to have it carried over.
You'd like to have it studied?
Madam Chair, if I might.
Senator Marsden.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The VRE is a critical part of the economy in Northern Virginia, and the ridership is way down because of the pandemic and the change in the paradigm shift in the change in work patterns. And even this small amount of money is a good sign to send to the a message to send that we support our commuter rail, and if we could do this in the interim while we do the study, I think it would be a wise vote. Thank you.
Senator Borsco. You were in queue. Thank you. Any questions from members of the committee? Comments? How about a motion?
Madam Chair, and consistent with the chair's recommendation, I move we carry the bill over. We can't treat a delegate's bill different than we treated a senator's bill. I apologize for that, but I move we carry the bill over. Is there a second? Second.
There's a motion and a second that the bill be continued. All in favor, please designate electronically.
Thank you.
Ayes 13, noes 1.
Ayes 13, noes 1. The bill will be continued.
The next bill, House Bill 525, relates to casino gaming and the limit on required local referendums. It would prohibit a governing body of any eligible host city from holding another referendum on casino gaming for 3 years after the last referendum. It also provides that Richmond can hold another casino referendum after November 7th, 2026. It's similar in concept to Senate Bill 628, Senator Aird, which passed the Senate 29 yes, 10 no.
Madam Chair, I've got a question.
Senator Deeds.
And I thought we'd also passed a bill that took Richmond off the list. So now we're putting them back on, and we're...
Madam Chair, Senator Deeds, the Senate has passed a bill to remove Richmond. That's still working its way through the body.
Senator McDougal.
Madam Chairman, I was going to make the same point Senator Deeds made. I think to be consistent, should we remove that portion from this bill if it's going to move forward?
Staff attorney.
Yes, we should. Is that a motion?
It is.
Oh, okay, if that's a motion.
Second it.
There's a motion and a second. Could you please repeat the motion first?
Madam Chairman, I think it's an enactment clause. If that's so, we would remove the enactment clause that would allow Richmond to have an additional vote.
Okay. The patron is here. Would you like to
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. That's exactly right. The enactment clause, we put it on before that other bill was coming through, so it's not necessary. This is just going forward, so any other new casino would have the same language which we have for historical horse racing, which is a 3-year.
Okay, that's just for new.
Madam
Yep.
Chair.
Senator Deeds.
The patron doesn't have any problem with this amendment that would remove the Richmond.
I have no problem with it taking this amendment off. That makes sense. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Madam Chair.
Thank you, Senator Dees. Your
The
motion.
amendment's been made by.
The amendment was made by Senator McDougal and seconded by Senator Favola. All in favor of that motion, please say aye.
Then I move to report the bill as amended.
There's a motion and a second about 3 or 4 times that the bill be reported as amended. All in favor, please vote electronically.
Ayes 12, noes 2.
Ayes 12, noes 2. The bill will be reported with the amendment.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you, committee.
Madam Chair, the next bill is House Bill 619. This relates to military-centered community zones. It authorizes a locality to designate by ordinance a military-centered community zone and offer unique benefits to businesses. It's similar to Senate Bill 343, Senator Rouse, which passed the Senate 40 yes, 0 no. The House bill adds the term notwithstanding any other provision of law in regards to exempting businesses from the local gross receipts tax in one of these community zones.
There's a motion and a second that the bill be reported. All in favor, please vote electronically.
Ayes 14, noes 0.
Ayes 14, no 0. The bill is reported.
The next bill is House Bill 805 relating to the local option sales and use tax for school construction. It would permit any city or county to impose an additional sales and use tax of 1% to fund the construction or renovation of schools. This bill is different from the Senate bill because it allows the tax revenue to be used to pay for existing debt on projects that were started or completed prior to imposing the tax. The Senate bill is Senate Bill 14, Senator McPike, which passed the Senate 27 yes, 13 no.
Madam Chair, I move that we conform this bill to Senate Bill 14.
There's a motion and a second to conform the bill. All in favor of that motion, please say aye.
Then I move to report.
It is moved and second that the bill be reported as conformed. All in favor, please vote electronically.
Ayes 11, noes 3.
Ayes 11, noes 3. The bill is reported with the substitute.
The next bill is House Bill 712, which is the 6-year financial plan. It requires that the 6-year financial plan be submitted on the first day of the even-numbered year and for a period of 2 years and 6 months consistent with the Constitution. It's similar to Senate Bill 399, Senator McDougal, but Senator McDougal's bill requires the financial plan to ensure structural balance between the projected revenues and expenditures on an annual basis rather than on a 2-year basis.
Madam Chair, I move we conform this bill to Senate Bill 399.
There's a motion to conform and a second. All in favor of that motion, say aye. Aye. No, same right.
Now I move to report the bill.
There's a motion and a second that the bill be reported with the substitute. Please open the electronic roll.
Ayes 14, noes 0.
Ayes 14, no 0. The bill will be reported with the substitute.
Madam Chair, the next bill is House Bill 715. This is the 6-year capital outlay plan that's required by the code to be submitted by the governor as legislation annually. Madam Chair, your bill was incorporated into Senate Bill 585, Senator Deeds, which requires the plan to be submitted after the Appropriation Act is enacted by the 6-year capital outlay plan advisory committee. Senator Deeds' bill passed the Senate 40 yes, 0 no.
Madam Chair, I move we conform this to Senate Bill 585.
You heard the motion to conform and a second. All in favor of that motion, please say aye.
Aye. Then I move to report the bill.
There's a motion and a second to report the bill as amended or with the substitute. Please open the electronic roll.
Ayes 14, noes 0.
Ayes 14, no 0. The bill will be reported with the substitute.
The next bill is House Bill 1502. This relates to tangible personal property tax. This bill removes the sunset set to expire after tax year 2025 on the authorization for localities to assign a different tax rate or assessment than from the general property rate on certain automobiles and vehicles. It's similar to Senator Van Valkenburg's Senate Bill 194. The only difference is Senator Van Valkenburg's bill has a sunset date of 2027.
Madam Chair, I move that we add a sunset for this to 2027.
There's a motion and a second that we add a 2027 sunset to the bill. All in favor of that motion, please say aye. Aye.
Now I move to report the bill.
There's a motion and a second to report the bill as conformed. All in favor, please vote electronically.
Ayes 14, no 0.
Ayes 14, no 0. The bill will be reported as amended. We have a House Bill 1508.
Madam Chair, the next bill is House Bill 1508. This is the assessment of omitted taxes. This allows a taxpayer to apply erroneously remitted retail tax proceeds to a use tax assessment. This bill is nearly identical to Senate Bill 709, Senator Obenshain. The difference is there's the use of subsection versus section in one paragraph. A recommendation from council is to conform it to the Senate bill.
Madam Chair, I move we conform this to the Senate bill.
There's a motion and a second that the bill be conformed to the Senate bill. All in favor of that motion, please say aye. Aye.
Now move to report the bill.
There's a motion and a second that the bill be reported as conformed. Please open the roll.
Ayes 14, no 0.
Ayes 14, no 0. The bill will be reported as amended.
That completes our docket.
Efficiency.
Unless there's any further business to come before the committee, the committee will rise.
The Senate of Virginia, Richmond, Virginia.